Hi guys, I'm Golf with my dad. Can this strike mat take your ball striking consistency to another level? Let's give it a go. Hi guys, so I'm here at Leisure Pod, dedicated venues here at Tapton Par Golf Club. The strike mat has actually been in the cupboard since I've been here, so the last couple of years. Never actually used it. So a little disclaimer before we start, I don't think this is the official strike mat, but it's a version from Amazon. I want to see if it can help me and then maybe you with strike consistency. So the other night I was researching videos, always thinking about what products I could review. You've probably seen the Rick Shields video with Bryson where he had Rick hitting 10 balls in a row. Could he hit the line 10 times on the row was the goal. The problem here is, where do we practice that? If we go out on the course, we're going to anger a few members and greenkeepers. This strike mat got me thinking last night. I know we can see where the path goes out to win, but we could also test, can we hit that line 10 times in a row? So how these strike mats work is we hit there, it makes the little mark so you can see where the club face is going, where it's hit. So today I'm going to do two tests. Got to do the 10 shot, can I hit the ball? Then we're just going to test it against the GC3 with our own eyes. I'm going to hit some out to ins, into outs, which we know where the ball is going to go, see what the marks look like, and just test it for a little bit of fun on the GC3. So we know in order to take our golf game to the best level it can, it's all about controlling that low point. If we can control low point, we can control strike, control spin, trajectory, and a whole lot of good things, but it's something what we probably don't practice. I know I should practice this a lot more often, but as I said, where do we practice it without damaging things outside too much? So let's give this a go. Never really used it before. So I'm going to do it a few swings without the ball to start with. So obviously the ball line, the goal of here, I want to be hitting on that ball marker, test my low point control skills. So I've only got a pitching wedge here, just going to do half swings. Again, don't want to damage the mat. I don't know how much it could take in terms of speed, but let's see how it works on controlling that low point. Just first one, just for example, so we can see there, club path, not too bad, strike about 6 centimeters behind the ball. All we do then, rub it back down, goes back to the start. Right, contact, hit the line. One annoying little bit, obviously I'm hitting the mat and it is moving, so we just got to replace it every time. Unless I'm gluing it to the floor somewhere, which I probably won't do. And if I was taking this to the driving range, I don't really want to be taking this, or I don't really want to be heading down the range to keep picking up every time. But from here, you can see I've hit past the ball, so my low point is after that ball. So I've got to work on my low point control. From a purely visual point of view, I've got to say it's really impressive to really get you dialed in on that low point. So in terms of a practice aid, this would be really good for any shot really, from irons, for pitch shots, for chip shots. We all want to control that low point. The tendency for a lot will be to hit way behind this ball. So if we're down on the driving range, we could be fatting the ball, not really knowing on the range because the bounce kicks in on this mat, but at least with this, we've got instant feedback. Just in front of the line on that one. I can definitely see the plus sides to this. So obviously we can work on that line control. Okay, so there we go, just in front of the line. In terms of using it to control that low point, I can definitely see this as a very useful training aid. So the strike mat is also advertised for being able to see where the path goes. So obviously if we swing in steeper or we're swinging out to in, the lines are going to go to the left if we're swinging from the inside. Obviously that doesn't show where the club face is aiming, so we can't see path to face ratios, but it does give us a little indication of where the path is. So let's have a little play on here. We're just going to have a little fun test with the GC3. So first one, I'm going to try and hit really out to him, see what mark it makes, and we'll test it on the GC3 as well. Ball strike, head of the ball. Let's have a look at the data. So yeah, so on the GC3, 8.4 degrees out to in. If we have a little look, so if you can see on here, as we've come in, you can see slightly that the path is moving out to in there. So that's what 8.4 degrees looks like on there. All right, so out to in, so can we hit the in to out? Again, this is path. I would have to learn to control the face to be able to hit the draw. So if I'm 6 degrees path, if I can get the club face at 3 degrees, center strike should be a nice little draw, but let's hit the little draw. Can we get the in to out on the GC3 to match with the mat? Perfect example, left the face open, pushed at the ball. But the path there you can see, you might not see the screen, but on the data the path is in to out, 13 degrees, so big in to out. So on the mat, gotta say, you can tell that the path is going to the right. You can't really tell how much. So obviously I wouldn't want to be hitting 13 degrees. If I was using this mat, I couldn't really tell from that strike pattern if that was 3 degrees into out or 13 degrees. But you get the rough idea that the club path was into out. Right guys, so that's a little test video of the strike mat. Gotta say, I could definitely really utilize this in terms of controlling my low point. Fantastic visual without having to rip up the course or use a bunker out on the course to test where the low point is. In terms of path, I can see where the ball flight is, so I roughly know where my path is, but it does give you a little visual. So in terms of the path, if you're coming way out to in, you'll see that, especially if you're hitting a ball into the net and you can't see where the ball is going, if you're not on the range, if you're not on the course, or if you haven't got access to a facility like this. So I can see where the path visual would be good on this, but definitely for the low point. It's actually quite sturdy as well, so I think I could have ramped up the swing speed on there, but I'm not going to test that today. If you've used it before, let me know, is it good for the long guys? Can I get really ball speed, or where this starts to come up, do they start to come loose? I'm not going to find that out today, but if you found out, let me know. One of the cons, definitely when I'm hitting down on it, having to fetch the mat would be pretty annoying, especially if I was out on the driving range using this. I don't want this mat to be flying out onto the driving range. But in terms of controlling low point, definitely super impressed with that, guys. Right, hope you enjoyed that. Till next time, guys.